Good evening. The 8:30 protest is over. Within the last hour, the final remaining demonstrator, the man known as Swampy, emerged from underground.
I feel that it's the only way to get a voice these days. I mean, if I wrote a letter to my MP, would I have achieved all this? Would you lot be here now? I think not.
But evicting people from the network of underground tunnels is proving the most difficult. The biggest, nicknamed Big Mama, is thought to be 50 foot deep, 60 foot long, and has 5 people chained to concrete barrels inside.
What right have you got to do what you're doing?
An absolute and moral right, because who else is going to defend these things? The only consideration that's being thought of here is the economics, is the money, is will this make money?
I don't know, I have a moral right, I think, to say that this is my planet, these are my air that I want to breathe, the trees give me air, and it's just beautiful. It's an amazingly beautiful place, and I just don't want to see it go, and I have a right to say, no, I don't want it to go, so I'm going to try and stop it.
You know, future generations are going to hate us, and they're going to look back and they're going to say, why did they do this? They knew. By now, you know, at the end of the 20th century, they knew the damage they were doing and they still did it. Why did they do this to us? Why did they leave us with this mess? And the right I've got to do this is the right for me to be able to say, you know, not me, I'm not guilty. When they did this stuff, I was there and they had to pull me out the way before they did that.
If I could ask you all a question, how far would you be prepared to go to support the views that you're making?
Personally, I would. And I have actually considered this quite a lot. And things what we're doing are very dangerous. And I could die at any point through falling off a tree, through being beaten up by security. Yeah, I am prepared to die for it.
Do you all feel that strongly about it?
Well, I have to say I feel the safest I've ever felt in my life living here. I don't consider a risk of dying. I wouldn't like to die, but I wouldn't say run away and hide because there's a chance of it, you know. I'd definitely go as far as getting arrested and breaking the law because the law's wrong. It needs people to break it to just show how stupid it is in the first place. How really ridiculous laws are that will let all this be destroyed, and anyone who says no by coming here and showing that they don't want it is a criminal and it's wrong. And that's why I think I'd break the law and I'd happily do it.
I'm here because I enjoy being alive. I'm here because life is magnificent. It's, you know, and I have every intention of staying alive as long as I can. And even from a tactical, practical sort of point of view, if you're dead, you ain't going to be making much difference in future, and someone's got to stand up to these people. But I won't use violence against anyone else. I won't put anyone else in a position of danger that they don't see coming and they haven't got the option of getting out of.
As far as we're concerned, the fight for jobs is morally right. There's no question about that. People should not have to face unemployment for the rest of their lives.
We are women, we are strong, we are fighting for our rights.
Stood side by side with our lads then, and we'll do the same again now. All the miners' wives, all the women in this audience, join together to keep this fight to save this pit open. Not only to save our pit, but to save all your jobs.
United by the struggle, united by the fight.
I'll wait till we get a few and then I'll just send a check. Yeah.
What right did you have to do what you did? I mean, what right have you got to do that kind of thing?
Well, we thought we had the right because this pit belongs to us. And like Bridget has said, my my father worked here, my grandfather's worked here before, my brother worked here, my husband worked here. I mean, this pit is part of my family, part of my community.
Not only are we losing coal, a very vital resource, but we're also losing jobs. We're losing jobs that are people have a right to a job. People have a right to a standard of living. And to consign people to the scrap heap and say that some have got to accept unemployment is a terrible scandal in our society. And for us, we have, you know, I don't think any of us felt any hesitation to do all in our power to fight here for coal and for jobs, so that we could ensure that this community stays alive and kicking.
If casualisation comes in, they're going to be under pressure all the time. You know, will we be working today? Will we be working tomorrow? Can we get this? Can we afford a family? Can we buy a house? You know, the rich get rich and the poor get poorer. And there's no way out of a casual job.
I just felt so angry at what they'd done to my husband. He had 23 years service on the docks, and he came home and he went, "I'm sacked," and I couldn't believe it, you know, when he thought I would be all over in a few days, and then a few days went to a few weeks and a few months, and then you start panicking, then you start thinking of your house being repossessed and no money and the children, you know. It was just anger in your heart that they could just do this to him and to, you know, the rest of the Dockers. I mean, some of them with 40 years service.
How do you know what you're doing is right?
My heart tells me what I'm doing is right. When I look around and see people so dismayed of unemployment, no positive future, it's very, very, very sad. You know, don't leave a trail of devastation behind with all casual work. No uncertain, you know, all the uncertainty of will there be a job for me next week or whatever. We've got to make it better for the people, for the youth, and that's why I know what I'm doing is right, you know, and it's just got to start. We've got to make a better future.
When they announced the closure, they in fact gave this pit a week's notice, if you remember, wasn't it? Yeah. As Brenda says, it was that short a notice, and what we did by maintaining a presence here was to basically to prevent them from throwing the men out of the pit within a week.
Are the coal mines important to this area?
Well, they certainly are. I mean, this was the last deep mine pit in North Staffordshire. I mean, this area was built on pits and potteries, and it tended to be women went to work in the potteries and the men worked in the pits, and it's been like that for centuries. And I mean, mainly it was the community as well. It was a community all together, you know. You all looked after each other. The men looked after themselves underground together. The women in the communities looked after each other and looked after the children, all helped each other out through difficulties. And that's part of the political programme to get rid of the mining communities. And it is a political issue.
Our present society has, you know, for years and years, we've had a government that's been encouraging the idea of look after yourself. You know, I'm all right, Jack. It doesn't matter about anyone else. You don't have to worry about your neighbour. For the mining community, that's been the very opposite of how it has survived and protected itself and grown as a community. To look after each other was the very principle upon which it survived and it was founded. And I think that describes for us, that expresses for us the common humanity that we all share, that market forces are ruthless and mean and will run you down, will not care about you. And that's been the complete opposite of what the mining community has always historically fought for and continues to fight for today.